I'm Joe Zinkas, standing out here on the, well, I'm not on the L tracks, but,
but I am.
Chris Moran is. Chris is with Sussex and Riley.
And I am the listing agent for River House, a new 84-unit condo development that we're putting up on a 600-foot stretch of Chicago riverbank. And we're here just a block south of the project. This is the newly constructed Francisco station of the Brown Line, and just opened on Friday. And for the first time, we'll be able to enter it from the west side of the platform on Sacramento here. The east side of the platform is Francisco and Manor Avenue and Ravenswood Manor Park. And River House is just a block north of here, so this is going to be really convenient for people living there.
And a pretty pleasant walk along a quiet tree-lined street,
it is,
from what I can see.
It is. This is Ravenswood Manor, and this is a neighborhood that has really not changed much recently. Most neighborhoods in Chicago have probably 2 or 3 new homes being built on blocks. Here, the houses are pretty well settled, and so we don't have much of that going on here.
What accounts for that?
The zoning, for one, wouldn't allow too many new homes being built here. You need to have a 5,000 square foot lot, which is larger than most Chicago lots.
Awfully quiet for mid-afternoon here.
Oh yeah, but that's typical of the neighborhood. Summertime it's a little more lively.
There are a couple good neighborhood bars and restaurants in Ravenswood Manor, aren't there?
No.
No?
Not really.
No, nothing?
There is Merle's Coffee House, where you can get a sandwich and a bowl of soup and maybe a meal. I don't really have any experience with the bars around here, so I couldn't really say about that.
People aren't coming here for the nightlife.
Yeah, pretty much so. Yeah, this is a quiet community, you know. Here we are in the 2900 block of Eastwood. And, you know, when Ravenswood Manor was first built, this was a racetrack. They used to race horses up here around 1900. And that racetrack burnt down. And then they sold the property, and it was subdivided and became Ravenswood Garden and Ravenswood Manor. And
what kind of horses? Thoroughbreds?
Yeah, thoroughbreds. Right. It was called the Diamonds Racetrack. So that was here, which eventually became Ravenswood Manor. And then above that, I would say 50 or 60 years earlier, we had the Miami Indian tribe living on the site, which is their main village was now the site for River House. And they had moved, they had ceded a lot of their land to Chicago, and they had gone on either side of the river and ceded these tracts. And they eventually moved to further north into Rogers Park, and the Indian boundary lines that we have now date to that period. Indian Boundary Park is probably where they had settled.
Is this one of these places that's overrun with strollers?
Yeah, there are strollers everywhere in this town. Lots of families are moving here to Ravenswood Manor.
And price levels, do you have any idea what kind of price levels we're looking at for single-family homes?
Yeah, well, the prices have been moving strongly north for several years now, but you can still get a bungalow in the mid-5s. And the two-story houses.
Renovated, good shape?
No, you're going to need to do everything. It'll be a 1 to 1.5 bathroom, 2-3 bedrooms, and you'll probably pull out the radiators and put in a gas furnace and add air conditioning to the place. So as they turn over, though, they usually see significant new improvements to the place. You're shooting our...
Where are we, Chris?
We are in Ravenswood Manor Park, and we have this beautiful playground here. About, I'd say 7 or 8 years ago, the neighbors organized and raised some money to improve the park, and they did a beautiful job of it. And got a nice big home across the way. If we look over this way...
I wanted to buy that puppy, not specifically, but...
Well, that was in foreclosure. Actually, that was bought twice out of foreclosure the last 2 times around. It's been renovated. It's probably worth a good $2 million these days. The river is just at the end of the block here.
What's the any idea what the school situation is around here?
Yeah, the schools around here are excellent. The private schools are excellent. Then you've got the Chicago public schools. They're not worth much, really. But Queen of Angels School is a fine parish school. There's North Park Elementary. And the kids that go to the public schools around here usually bus themselves off to a magnet or whatever. But and then we also have Northside College Prep, which is considered one of the best schools in the state. That's just over on Kedzie. Very competitive to get into that school. We have a little ballet school in the neighborhood. Just in the corner of this building here is Le Ballet Petit. It's been there for 52 years. And we produce a nutcracker every year in December. And this is a school that girls and boys in the neighborhood have attended for a long, long time. There's a little art school next door and a little martial arts studio next door to that. We have a coffee house on the corner. And
district you said around the park.
Yep, and the doctor's office is there too.
Any activities in the park in the summertime?
The summertime has a pretty good schedule. There is a summer concert series, the Ravenswood Manor Summer Concert Series, and we will have 8 or 9 Sunday evening concerts throughout the summertime. And it's a wide variety of music. We had a blues band come up from New Orleans one summer. We've had big brass bands here. We have a neighborhood talent show, and that's generally hosted by Rocco Jans. Rocco's a composer at the Shakespeare Repertory Theater and a lively entertainer who's been around Chicago for a long time. The Ground Up Theater, there's a Shakespeare theater, has been up the last 2 summers. We had a Tempest last year and a Midsummer Night's Dream before, and they intend to do another production this summer. We haven't heard what it will be yet. And
what about drugs? Chicago parks have a lot of good open-air drug markets.
Not here. We will run them out of here pretty quick. If the police won't do it, the neighbors will. But there haven't been any problems like that around here.
Okay. Thank you.
You know, this one of the great loves of life in Ravenswood is gardening. And this guy's enthusiastic about it. He likes his birds, too. But,
those are squirrel feeders. Isn't that what they turn into?
Oh, I don't know. We actually have a human for a squirrel feeder in the neighborhood, too. There's a lady who clears the snow around the trees to make sure that the squirrels can see where the food is that she puts at the base of all the trees. She makes sure they have water in the summertime, which last summer was actually a very kind thing for her to do because we had a pretty dry summer.
My daughter says at our house we have squirrels the size of Buicks.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know, for all the work she does feeding the squirrels, they feast on my dumpster. And they have a pretty good diet. They're Epicurean squirrels.
Is this all handmade stuff, or?
Probably.
Looks like it's all original.
Yeah.
You don't know if the owner makes it, or?
I don't know if he does it. It sort of has the look of the same craftsman, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And a lot of the material looks pretty consistent, too.
I know I didn't make it.
Yep.